Good morning and welcome to Frederick at its best. I'm Frederick County Executive Jan Gardner. We're here today to talk about National Work Zone Awareness Week, which is sponsored by the American Traffic Safety Services Association. This annual spring campaign, held at the start of construction season, encourages safe driving through highway work zones. This year's theme is Work Zone Safety is in Your Hands. Reinforces the message that motorists should slow down, be constantly alert, and prepare for dynamic changes in and around work zones. Now entering its second decade, National Work Zone Awareness Week is officially held from April 3rd to April 7th. It provides an opportunity for the highway industry to remind its employees and, more importantly, the public about safety in work zones. What began as a small single event in Virginia Department of Transportation district has grown into a national program that involves virtually every state in the country. Statistics suggest that the effort is having a positive effect on safety. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's Fatality Analysis Reporting System, the number of work zone fatalities has decreased in the United States every year since 2002, and that's good news. The more we talk about work zone safety, the less workers, drivers, and public safety personnel will be hurt or lose their lives in work zone accidents. Along those lines, the Maryland Department of Transportation State Highway Administration is also encouraging participation in the 4th annual Go Orange Day on Wednesday, April 5th. We join the State Highway Administration in encouraging everyone to support employees and contractors in the field who risk their lives every day to keep our highways safe. You'll see posters in Winchester Hall, public works personnel wearing orange, social media and digital messages, and many other activities. We are working together to raise awareness about work zone safety. When we talk about safety, I'm proud that our Division of Public Works in the county and certainly in the city and across the state, and the emphasis they place on training our employees to be highly visible and safe in work zones. As for flagger training, they train all highway operations staff as well as other county staff, including maintenance and parks and recreation. They've also provided this training to some of our municipalities like Middletown and Emmitsburg. As for first aid training, all highway operations staff receive first aid and CPR training. The division is also well versed in proper notification for road closures, alerting emergency communications, and Frederick County Public Schools when schools are open, whenever a road is closed or partially closed for any work zone related project. As a side note, the Division of Public Works does tend to close sections of roads for the safety of our employees when they're out doing maintenance or working, and that can include regular maintenance like trimming trees and doing takedowns. For extended closures, they set up detours and notify the local media and post notices on their webpage. The division also maintains a well-stocked supply of warning signs and has the ability to custom make additional signs as required. Finally, the county provides highly visible clothing and safety shoes for our employees. So I'm very pleased today to welcome back to Winchester Hall one of the most respected and well-spoken spokespersons for this program, and that's a resident of Middletown, Lori Mosier. She is the widow of Richard Mosier. Promoting public awareness of the urgent need for safe driving in work zones has become her family's purpose following her husband's untimely death in a work zone crash on June 26, 2007. On that day, Rick, a veteran state highway employee, was killed by a negligent driver while clearing debris in a mobile work zone here in Frederick County. In that moment, her family was changed forever, all because of a driver choosing to speed and to not pay adequate attention in a work zone. I'd like to invite Lori to share her personal perspective about work zone safety and the goal of zero worker deaths through this campaign. So, Lori, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Executive Gardner, for issuing this timely work zone safety proclamation to promote public awareness of the urgent need for safe driving in work zones here in Frederick County. This year's national theme, Work Zone Safety is in Your Hands, conveys a crucial message our family is compelled to share following my husband's tragic death in a temporary work zone operation on June 26, 2007. On that beautiful summer morning, Rick was clearing debris along a highway ramp when he was struck by a pickup truck, propelled 175 feet forward into the grassy median area, and pronounced dead at the scene. In that moment, our family was changed forever, all due to the actions of an irresponsible driver. How different our lives would be today if only that driver had heeded the message, work zone safety is in your hands, on that fateful June day. In these almost 10 years since Rick's preventable death, our family has passionately advocated for safer work zones, hoping to spare other families from experiencing similar tragedy. Over time, we've come to realize that while the lives of roadway workers are at risk in work zones, statistically, motorists and their passengers are at greater risk for death or injury when traveling through work zones, a reality most people don't seem to be aware of. Vehicles truly do become deadly weapons when operated by inattentive, aggressive, or reckless drivers, especially in work zones where frequent changes in traffic patterns and operation of heavy equipment occur routinely, such as in the current road construction project underway on Route 15. It is imperative all motorists hear this crucial message. Work zone safety is in your hands, and realize their careless actions hold the potential to irrevocably change many lives, including their own. Unfortunately, important messages such as this one are easy to ignore until they become part of your own personal experience. When I see motorists drive through work zones without apparent regard to their own personal safety or to the safety of those around them, texting, talking on the phone, eating or drinking, speeding up to pass other cars before the lane narrows, or tailgating, I think, if you knew how much your life could change in this second, would you still take this risk? In those moments, I genuinely wish I could somehow share the magnitude of profound loss our family continues to experience, all due to one careless driver's actions. To all drivers, I can't say it enough. Work zone safety is in your hands. When you drive through a work zone, do what you're supposed to do. Stay alert, pay attention, and focus solely on driving. Obey the speed limit and keep the safety of all in mind. So everyone, workers, drivers, and passengers, arrive home safely to their loved ones every time. Your actions behind the wheel today can prevent needless tragedy. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. I know it's very difficult for you to come out and speak about this terrible personal experience that you've had, even though it's been almost 10 years. Our hearts continue to go out to you and your family, and we really do want to share this message with people because we want to make sure that this experience doesn't happen to any other family in our community. And so we appreciate you taking up this important cause to make sure that people are aware that they need to slow down and stay alert in work zones, not just for the safety of the workers who are there, but for the safety of their own family members. And of course, today we know there's even more distractions with people texting while they're driving and doing other things that are distracting. And for only a second, it can make a difference. So I do have a proclamation that I'd like to read, and then we'll pass the microphone to all the other people who are up here joining us today. Whereas each year in the spring, National Work Zone Awareness Week is observed across the country to bring attention to motorist and worker safety by encouraging safe driving through highway work zones and construction sites. And whereas the 2017 theme, Work Zone Safety is in Your Hands, encourages drivers to slow down, to not tailgate, and to avoid distractions such as text messaging or talking on their cell phones. That is especially important in Maryland, as it is against the law to use a handheld cell phone while driving. These safety precautions are significant for work zones in order to protect workers, as well as to protect drivers and their families. And whereas, according to the National Work Zone Safety Information Clearinghouse, from 2003 to 2010, 962 workers were killed at road construction sites. Nearly half of these deaths resulted from a vehicle or mobile equipment striking a worker. And whereas the Frederick County Division of Public Works is to be commended for being proactive in notifying the public and the media, as well as emergency management, fire and rescue, school officials about major road emergency work and scheduled projects. And whereas county workers and road flaggers are equipped with highly visible outer gear and crews set up protective barriers and warning signs to alert drivers. Now, therefore, as the County Executive of Frederick County, Maryland, I hereby proclaim the week of April 3rd through April 7th as National Work Zone Awareness Week in Frederick County. And we do commend this observance to all of our citizens. And I would encourage families to actually talk about this, to talk about it with your children, and to talk about it with all the drivers in your family. So with that, I do want to give an opportunity for all the people who are joining me here today to introduce themselves and to add whatever comments they would like to add to this topic. So why don't we go this way first and just pass the microphone.
Okay, just Michael Winpegler, Street Maintenance, City of Frederick.
Ben Arneson, Water Superintendent for the City of Frederick.
Zach Kirshner, Director of Public Works, City of Frederick. I just wanted to say thank you to you, Executive Gardner, for highlighting this extremely important topic, and just remind those out there driving in the public that when you do approach a work zone, please slow down, pay attention to the directions. It's for the safety of our workers as well as you, the driver, and your passengers and the general public.
John Concanon, I'm the acting district engineer for the State Highway Administration's District 7 office. Again, I echo the comments expressed here today and encourage everyone to pay attention, obey speed limits as you enter our work zones. We are beginning to ramp up in our construction season with over 400 construction projects taking place across the state. So again, please pay attention as you pass through and be safe.
Shelley Alloy, a citizen of the City of Frederick, and I'm here to support all the men and women who do this work every day. Thank you so much. Thank you, Executive Gardner, for the proclamation, and to Lori, we really appreciate your advocacy, and our hearts are with you. Thank you.
Keith Brown, Assistant Deputy Director of Operations for the City of Frederick.
Bill Routson, Superintendent, Frederick County Highway Operations.
Dave Stone, Site for Manager, Highway Operations.
I'm Peter Perry, Chairman of the Frederick County Roads Board. I know I speak for every member of the Roads Board in encouraging residents of Frederick County to take work zones seriously for their own safety and for those working in those zones.
Dave Ennis, Department Head for Highway and Facility Maintenance with the County's Division of Public Works. I'd like to reiterate what everyone has said today, that work zone safety literally is in your hands. We depend on you to follow the rules that are out there, follow the direction given by the flaggers, and to slow down, pay extra attention when you enter a work zone, and just remember that handheld cell phones and texting is against law in Maryland, and it is a very big distraction. And thank you.
Robert Shen, Frederick County Division of Public Works, and we are glad to be a partner of this proclamation. They bring out the importance of observing the warning sign, regulatory sign within the work zone to ensure everybody's safety.
Chuck Knipe, Director, Frederick County DPW. I would like to thank Executive Gardner for recognizing this important awareness campaign, and also to encourage everybody to join us April 5th for our Go Orange Day, supporting everybody out there doing this work every day.
Okay. In conclusion, I do want to join with others to urge you, all Frederick County drivers, to hear the message and recognize that everyone, workers, drivers, and your passengers in your vehicles, are at risk for death or injury in work zone crashes. It is my hope that all drivers will understand that work zone deaths are preventable. Please slow down, avoid distractions, and stay alert through any work zone. Recognize that work zones move and that work zones change. So even if you commute for work and you commute through an area where there's a construction project, it may be different today than it was yesterday. We do have many employees who are out working in our roadways, certainly our highway and construction crews, our water and sewer crews who are often also doing maintenance and repair work in roadways. And of course, we have public safety first responders who we need to pay attention to and avoid areas when they are stopped along the road as well. So please slow down, avoid distractions, and pay attention so that families are spared from experiencing the tragedy that Lori Moser and her family have endured. Again, I want to thank Lori. I want to thank all of our employees in the Division of Public Works, our partners from the city and from the state, and everyone who works hard to maintain and improve our roads and our travelways for our community. So let's all go orange. That's why we have this orange hard hat here. I want to say helmet, but that's not exactly correct. And encourage others to do the same. Thank you for joining us for Frederick at its best. Let's stay safe.